Hi everybody. You will notice in this one that I'm a little under the weather. And also this is the Cave Echo Effect episode. Which is cool because this is maybe the first gimmick where I don't have to think about it while I'm recording. It's a fully post-production gimmick. So I'll be adding a cave echo effect in post, which you will not hear on this video. So essentially, this week's, special behind the scenes video is less what a struggle that was and more you get to hear the version without the cave echo. So apologies, bear with me. I'm gonna announce some different effects on my voice and you won't get to hear them in this video version. So I just want you to know that if you're like, hey, what's wrong with this video? I want this to be the completely unaltered version because you don't normally get that when there's, post-production stuff. Okay. I'm about to start. How do I want to kick this one off? Hey everybody, I'm sick this week, so it's another round of sick beats. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I had a really scratchy throat on recording day, and I decided, to maybe, push recording back a couple of days. My voice is feeling better, so I'm sparing you from the music, unless you like the music episodes. I don't know. Anyway, theme song. And this is where the theme song goes. I should have gotten a cup of water. You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 66. It's not about Star Wars. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert will spelunk us later, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch, or get merch for a stranger. Isn't that nice? Do you know someone who needs a shirt? We'll get them one with my broken car on it. No new donors this week. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $1,301. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then record my podcast at the end. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? Bye! Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever, unless somebody else changes it back. Want the bass line to be farts? $50 and I'll do it toot sweet. No new patrons this week. Hey. Sorry. Did you know we don't have a single patron named Donald? Weird. If any person named Donald or Donnie or Don or Donna or Dawn Dish Soap joins my Patreon by the time the next episode is recorded, I will title that episode Velociraptor Key Party, regardless of the episode topic. Come on, Dons. Get Jurassic on my ass. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is my album that's releasing very soon. That's right, I make a lot of music every day, but I've never actually made an album that you can go buy or stream on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, etc. before. I'm so new to this, I don't even want to say the release date because I don't know how long this stuff takes to process. If you want an entire episode of Fix My Carcast to be a behind-the-scenes look at making the album, sponsor away! Checking in on the best city in the world, based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and we've got a three-way tie between Bethel, Maine, Westbrook, Maine, and Hyderabad, Telangana. Ties are broken by whichever city listened to the most episodes, and our big winner is Westbrook, Maine! Congratulations, Westbrook, Maine. Let it be known that your Hardwell Fields, CC Jitters, and Flash Museum are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I had to talk about Loge while incorporating 10 random Bible verses. You can see video of me struggling to cram each verse into the show as naturally as possible, with a big screen indicating which verse I'm being forced to say over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I reveal some details about my upcoming album. I'm coming out with an album, you guys! Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: number 1, hold my nose. Number 2, do it like a Civil War documentary. Number 3, returning gimmick, do a Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force voice. And number 4, record it at the beach. Let's go over those again. Number 1, hold my nose. Number 2, do it like a Civil War documentary. Number 3, do a Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force voice. And number 4, record it at the beach. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, April 13th at noon Eastern America time. All right. Time for today's gimmick, which is put on a cave echo effect. Ground rules: I've decided this will be my first entirely post-production gimmick. I can't hear the echo in real time, and I haven't even chosen which cave echo effect I'm going to use yet. Actually, here's an effects lesson for you. When people think of echo effects, they're usually thinking of either reverb or delay. Computer, turn on reverb. This is reverb. Computer, switch to delay. This is delay. Computer, remove all effects. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way, in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the Gimmick Zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode, so I'm going to hit random page on Wikipedia for inspiration. So today's topic, which I am discovering at this very moment, is Majida Bulila. Time to learn about Majida Bulila. All right. I do not know who Majida Bulila was. I hope that I am pronouncing Majida Bulila correctly. Majida Bulila was a Tunisian militant. Born Majida Bakludi. Looking for pronoun, she. There we go. Majida Bulila. She was a figure in the Tunisian national movement and a symbol of the liberation of Tunisian women. Awesome. Bulila was arrested by French colonial authorities for her political activities with the Neo Dastur party. She was detained in the Tiboursouk camp while she was pregnant with her second daughter. Okay, so right off the bat, Majida Bulila sounds like a badass. And of course, this is always the issue with a random page. Okay, so this is a short one, very short article. Of course, I don't want this podcast to become me reading Wikipedia to you. So the hope is that the random page, if not just is the topic of the episode, is a jumping off point. This is a very short article. Majida was born November 1931 and died September 1952. This is, oh goodness, passed away of postpartum bleeding. It's a fun one. There are things dedicated to her. Yeah, they're not always easy to jump off from. Sounds like a neat person, though admittedly also I am discovering who she is right now. I don't see anything particularly controversial on this page, so welcome to one of the dangers of just having a random Wikipedia page podcast. Seems pretty cool though. Uh, but I don't know what these movements are, so oh boy. Welcome to I don't jump into political stuff. Okay, new constitutional liberal party. I'm clicking through to learn more. Uh oh, this was made as a split from. Oh boy, well, this is what you get when you random it. Um, well, since there's not much information on this person, I've pretty much exhausted the entirety of the Wikipedia page, which was last edited on the 15th of March, 2023. Folks, this is why you should donate, because sometimes you get. This article is so very close to being a stub. So yeah, boy, I can't wait to do a little jumping off improv about postpartum bleeding. Shout out to all my postpartum bleeders out there. Woo! Well, this is what happens when we don't have a topic. There's a grainy photo of Majida Bulila, whose name is quite rhythmically pleasing, I've got to say. Majida Bulila. Bulila. I don't want to put any disrespect on this name, but just, lyrically, it's quite pleasing. Well, thank you, Majida Bulila. You seem like a real badass, and if you'd like to learn more about Majida Bulila, try anywhere other than Wikipedia, because what a short article. References, a French article. Great, clicking through. I took like 7 years of French, and I've retained very little. And we've got a broken link, so wow. All right, we'll talk about how much French I know, because what else we got? Article, disappointingly short. Hopefully when we get random ones in the future, we'll have lots more to talk about on longer articles. But okay, let's talk about me being bad at French. Two things that I'm bad at. Giving directions and speaking French. Again, took 7 years of French. I actually started out taking Spanish, and then my school's Spanish teacher quit. Oh no. So I had to pop over to French, which I wasn't as enthused about. No disrespect to the French, but you're a kid, and tacos are more exciting than escargot. So anyway, one day, a French speaker asked me for directions in a town that I had only lived in for a couple of years at this point. And my retention of the French language, let's see, my last year of French was 2007. This would have been 2010 or 11. You'd think the French would still be in here? No, the French surrendered. And I shit you not, this is how, I merde you not, this is how I had to give directions. Left and not left. I forgot the French word for right, so I was saying, gauche, which is left, and gauche non. And then, after like a minute of that, I realized, hand signals are probably better. I just point left, straight, or right. And they say that, like, if someone asks for directions and you don't know the place they're trying to get to, like, if you don't know how to get there, you just say, I don't know. Like, the worst thing to do is to, like, try to help and be like, I think it's this. In the moment, you will seem very rude if you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry. Because they're like, I need information now, I'm in trouble. But you're doing them a favor by just being like, oh, I don't know, sorry, bye, good luck. They'll get upset, but, they'll be much happier than when you get them more lost because you don't know what you're telling them. All right. I'm going to tell you my mnemonic for remembering left. By the way, I think I remember right. I'm putting my money where my mouth is on this how much French I've retained thing. So this is going to be the silliest mnemonic, but this is how I remember left in French. To the left of is à gauche de, which kind of sounds like how Sean Connery would say a ghost. When you die, what's left is a ghost. That's how I remember how to say left in French. A gauche. Hey, Sean Connery, how do you say left in French? A ghost. A ghost is what's left when you're dead. I didn't practice my Sean Connery. And by the way, I don't practice any of the voices on this show. Whenever the gimmick is a voice, I don't try to do it ahead of time because, like, you know, this being an improv show, it's very tough when you're the only person running it. I wish I had an assistant who could, like, come in and be like, and here's the thing you're doing. So whenever a gimmick wins, I have to then spend, like, the next couple of days not thinking about the gimmick because I want it to be like fresh improv, even though I have a general idea of what it's going to be. Anyway, did you enjoy that peek behind the curtain? So, droit? No, droit de pied is fingers of the foot or something. I don't know, French, you're weird. L'Académie Française. Do you know about L'Académie Française? So, French is one of the strictest languages in the world. They do not like foreigners. French does not like plucking words from other languages, especially English, let me tell you what. They hate that hot dog is un hot dog. Like, I can't remember where I read this, but like, it's become a problem in the world of computers because it's helpful if everyone is using the same words for computer terminology, but the French said no. So, like, cookies, like your internet browser cookies, those are called cookies in most languages or many languages. I don't want to completely talk out my ass. I haven't actually looked up how to say internet cookies in every language. But what's fascinating is, in French, they're like les connexions de terminal, something like that. And it's just like, they just refuse to say cookies. Because l'Académie Française, are just such sticklers about, like, whenever a new word comes along, we, the French, will make our own word. We will not borrow words from any other language. And that is, you know, c'est super cool. So anyway, I'm so sorry I didn't spend longer on Majida Boulila, but I ain't got much to go on. Boom, end of article. But I hope you've enjoyed this discussion on my bad Frenching. As always, lengthen your stubs. Woo! That whole episode, I wasn't considering the cave echo effect, so I hope that this isn't just a huge disaster. I'm still feeling pretty miserable. Maybe I should have done sick beats, but it's hard to make that call when you're just slightly sick and you're like, I might pull out of this. Anyway, I hope this was a fun one. I knew it was going to be short going in just because I feel miserable. And, you know, I mean, I didn't know the topic would be so stubby, but it's very stubby. All right. I don't love you. Keep that in mind. We're not friends unless we are friends. But, you know, yeah, I don't know why I constantly bring that up. Don't start a weird, unhealthy relationship with me. Please obsess about the lore of the show, but don't think I'm your neighbor, I guess. I don't know. That just really means a lot to me. I'm very worried about, like, you know, people getting addicted to YouTube personalities. YouTube? What the fuck? I don't even put this on YouTube anymore. Podcast!